Welcome, Boyd Podcast, Season 2, Episode 15. Stephen Lee, driver trainer. Excited. And I've had you on before and was kind of walking through the hall and wanted to find a driver trainer to kind of talk to today, to talk about our program, just kind of, let guys know, what our driver trainers do here for our trainees at Boyd Brothers. First of all, I've just called your name, but, do a formal introduction. Hey, guys, this is Stephen Lee. Stephen, how long you been at Boyd?
I've been at Boyd for 12 years.
12 years, and you've done a couple things here, haven't you?
Yeah, done a dedicated route and got my 1,000,000 miles.
Awesome. And as you know, guys, 1 out of every 6 guys is a 1,000,000 miler here at Boyd Brothers. So that is a prestigious accomplishment. The guys, I mean, it's just, and it's unsafe. These are safe miles, not, this is a guy that hasn't had a violation in 1,000,000 miles. That's a 7 to 10 year deal, guys. So, to guys that don't understand, how that happens, you got to do the same thing every day. You got to practice and preach safety all the time. And Stephen does a great job of that. And we definitely appreciate you. So, you've talked a little bit about your history here at Boyd. I've had the pleasure, when I was a fleet manager, running you a few times. If you don't know Stephen Lee, then, if you know him, then it's some of the stuff he do is unbelievable. But it's always on time. It's always safe. And he's one that I say I can count on each and every time. So to say that, I just want to tell you I appreciate you, man.
I definitely
appreciate what you do. And what made you want to become a trainer?
It was actually my wife pushed me into it.
Okay. And let me guess. If I had to guess, what we want more money?
Yep, more money.
And that's always a good thing, guys. It's a lot of change in that. You got somebody in the truck, which you, even if you prefer not to have someone in the truck at the time, you having to change your routes up. You having to do different loads just so they can get acclimated to what Boyd do. It's not always about the money. It's about taking a young man and making him understand the trucking industry from your eyes, because you are a safe driver. You do it right all the time, and we want you to mimic that with the rest of the guys. Training, just tell me some of the challenges that you run into when you have a trainee on the truck, when you headed to pick up loads.
Well, the first is if they've never been in the truck before, usually about the first 3 days is real stressful for both of us. And especially me, because I got to keep an eye on him and me, make sure we're still on the road safe, doing the speed limits, and especially through construction. And just make sure he's kind of,
on the right path.
Yeah, on the right path.
So tell me some things that they need to watch out for.
Biggest thing is, since I got one of the new KWs, is it'll show the speed limit on the dash and on the RAN. So I always tell my guys that those will be wrong most of the time. So just keep your eyes out on the speed limits that are on the road instead on the RAN or that dash.
Yeah, because
that's the biggest thing.
There you go, guys. And then we experienced that sometime in our own personal vehicles, to where, now with the GPS system that's in some cars, they kind of show you the speed limit on it. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Speed limit could be 55 on your truck, but showing the speed limit sign showing 45. And most of the time you'll see
that's where you get your tickets.
There you go, because DOT will hold you accountable for what the signs say. Anything else they need to pay attention to?
Especially whenever they holler in a coil, being, first time, around the corners, getting off and getting on the exits. They need to, take their time. Doesn't matter who's behind them, as far as like the cars. They're going to be impatient, but it's better to keep a slower speed around the curves instead of having that coil come off.
Yeah.
And make sure it's properly chained down, too.
Talk about some of your struggles that you had when you first started, and how you make absolute sure that whoever you're training doesn't go through those same issues.
Yeah, it was, being new to it. I was the first, didn't know anything about trucking at all. my friends did, but they were mainly, dump truck drivers. And so I had to learn that, that I had to be on time with all my loads, make sure, I still had time to drive after I got, loaded and everything else like that. And so I actually got in trouble one time, because I was late to a shipper.
There you
And
go.
so I had, okay, from then on, well, I'm going to be an hour early to every appointment, to every shipper, to every customer that I got to go.
And it done paid off for him. He's a million miler here at Boyd Brothers, so that is very important information that And he just said, I just want to make sure my trainees deliver on time. Teach them how to get there early versus late.
And I always call the customer to even see if they have overnight parking, because some of them do and some of them don't.
Yep.
So
That's another good thing.
get close to within an hour of your customer or your shipper, and then you should have a full clock for the next day, except for that hour and a half or whatever that you drove.
Awesome. Y'all heard it best from Steve, guys. Deliver your loads on time. Make sure you're leaving the house on time to get that done. Giving yourself an hour cushion to get it done. So, that's great information to pass off to a guy. And just a couple of things I want to add to that. Learn how to read an atlas. Because it's very important sometimes. People, we use technology sometimes, and technology is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but I think sometimes we need to we need to go back to the old days, mapping that trip out, and then maybe pulling your GPS up and then just kind of see what route is the GPS taking you. But get your atlas in that truck, because at some point with some of these smaller towns you'll need it. Also, fuel finder. I tell guys all the time, it's a little black book they sell in the truck stop. It's called the fuel finder, and every major highway that's in the United States, it shows where the truck stops are. And get an up-to-date one, because they build them every day. So Definitely get your up-to-date one. And then for whatever reason, every truck stop isn't a good truck stop. We want to preferably look for a Love's. They're well lit. You're taken care of when you got there. You got points. You got showers. You can get free showers there depending on your points, and we prefer you to fuel there. So, but if you reach a truck stop that's not a good truck stop, it's in that book. Take your black permanent marker and mark it out. And over your trucking career, you should be able to pull that book out and just flip through it and see where you can and can't stay as you map your routes out. That's pretty much all I got. Anything else you want to add to that?
Nope. I don't think so.
Awesome. And as you know, Steve is a driver trainer here, and that's a way you can make extra money here at Boyd Brothers. We look for guys all the time to teach our new guys exactly how to do it. We got so many guys that's been here for a long period of time that does it right. Because as I said earlier, every one out of 6 drivers here is a million miler. I wish I can get all my million miles to training, but I also know, some people pick trucking sometimes because I like to be to myself. If you're looking to make some extra money here at Boyd Brothers, become a trainer. I mean, we want you guys to, instill your knowledge in the youth. And I think y'all do a great job doing it. So, hey, guys, that's all I have for the day. If you want to listen to this podcast, then you check us out on all social media platforms. Facebook, TikTok, all of them. So if you're looking for a truck driving career versus a truck driving job, go Boyd.